And joining us this morning is Jonathan John Hall, who's a candidate for Sylacauga City Council District 4. And we all need communicating skills, including this old guy sitting right here. John, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
I am doing very well. A candidate for District 4 in the August 28th election. Of course, the qualifying is in early July. Talk a little bit about yourself. You came from Massachusetts, right?
Yes, sir, I did. I grew up in a small town in Massachusetts, and I lived there and worked there. I worked for the fire department in the city of Worcester, and I got hurt, and they retired me because of an injury. Since that time, I've been enjoying the life of being retired, although the limitations somewhat.
Now, John, it's a long way from Massachusetts to Sylacauga, Alabama.
Well,
how'd you get here?
It is. Got tired of the snow. You know, we had 18, 19 inches of snow at a whack and stuff, and I got tired of it after a while. And plus, the weather wasn't conducive, so everyone retires to Florida.
Mm-hmm.
I retired to Florida. Hurricane Charlie made my house a convertible. And I said, that's enough. And
You go from snow to hurricanes,
yeah,
right?
I know. Well, you know, the story keeps on. I fixed the house, and here comes another hurricane. That's it. I'm done. I'm leaving. And I was looking at the map, and a friend of mine drove through Alabama, and they said, hey, I heard this place called Jackson's Gap. Well, I loaded up the camper and drove to Wind Creek. And I started at Wind Creek and started driving around and around and around. And I drove down Broadway, and I parked the Jeep I was driving at the time behind Spraybury Insurance.
Mm-hmm.
And I walked down Broadway, and I ran into this gentleman, and he changed my life, Mr. Joe Duck. I started talking to him, and a couple hours later, I was still talking to him, and I said, this is where I want to live, and here I am.
How did he paint a picture to you that convinced you that Sylacauga was a place for you?
He started talking, and he was just, you could feel the love he had for the city, and you could feel the pride he had. The fact that he was a merchant in the town for so many years, and the fact that he was the registrar of voters. But the way he gave this town, he showed the town that, hey, this is where I am, this is where I live, this is where I love. So I listened to that, and the whole idea was that, wow, this is what I want. The small town, family value, city, everything together, the whole package is just perfect.
Now, you came in what, 06?
December of 05,
Okay.
I moved in.
Okay.
I bought a house on Pinewood, and I've been there ever since, and settled into the neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
And a very good friend of mine, Pete Sumner's, is right behind me. So we communicate, and we've been doing some landscaping. Of course, Pete's Mr. Green Thumb, so. But we talk about different things, and I just wanted to figure out what I wanted to do to help the city. And City Council came up with Walter going to mayor. That leaves District 4 open, and this would be the opportunity. And without taking anything away from anybody, I think this is the time to get involved.
Now, you were involved in recent years too with another gentleman who is an icon who passed away a few years ago, and that's Joe Stone at the Coosa Valley Rescue Squad.
Yes, sir. We were together, and it's hard, it's emotional for me because I love that man, and we were together every day. I used to call him Mr. Stone, and he used to sit there, hello, John. I can remember to this day. But Joe Stone was the factor that led me toward the Lord. And he was fussing at me. He said, come to church, come to church. And I said, yeah. So I did. I walked in one Christmas candlelight service. I sat down at Marble City Baptist Church, and again, I made myself a home.
Wow.
The Lord is in my heart. And again, this decision to run for city council, there's been some praying going on, and I think we're doing this with the blessings of a lot of people, a lot of things that are affecting my life. So,
talk about what you would like to see as a District 4 councilman if elected in the August 28th election.
Well, the city is a beautiful city. If you look at it, one of the previews on your advertising on the television, shows the old architecture of the city. The old architecture of the city goes to the heart. The heart is part of the city. Bring the heart back. Give some pride to the city. Get some of these empty stores filled up with people. I always thought that Alabama would be a mom and pop store. Walk in and there'd be Granny in the back room cooking, and you'd have a meal out front, or Matilda sitting in the corner with a needle and a thread and say, "Here, let me show you how to do that," and that kind of thing. So if we could bring that back, bring back the old values to the city, and fellowshipping and things like that. I've got some crazy ideas, and thinking somewhat outside the box. Wouldn't it be nice if we could walk down Broadway or Norton on an evening? It's like a nice summer evening or spring evening, whatever. And you walk down, you look in the windows of the merchants, you see your friends, you see your neighbors, you do some fellowshipping, you do a little testifying, go get an ice cream cone, have a nice iced coffee, or that's New England, but sweet tea or hot chocolate or whatever.
Hard for you to say sweet tea.
No, I'm working on it. I said y'all a couple times already. But the thing is, that's another thing. People come to me and say, "You're not from around here, are you?" No, but this is where I want to be, and this is where I need to be. But if we could do some socializing downtown and revitalize downtown, something for the kids to do. All these empty buildings, there's a lot of work that could be done, like merchants, stores, people, proprietors of things. There's a lot of factories that are empty. Put that to work.
You saw some of this showcased where you lived in Massachusetts.
Well, yeah, Worcester is a central city in Massachusetts between Boston and Springfield. And Worcester had industry. They had Harrington Richardson Arms. They had Reed and Prince. They made screws and nails and things. And the business went away. And before you know it, Worcester became a bedroom town. Well, that lost its appeal, because basically with a bedroom town, people just sleep there. They don't live there. So
they're commuting somewhere else.
Exactly, but the fact is, I live here. This is my home. It's not a house, it's a home. Sylacauga is my hometown. If we could reestablish that value, make it more. The kids get out of high school, where do they go? What's the attraction? We should get them to come back here. One of the things, I was listening to Doug the other day, and he said something about the race fans going through here. Well, isn't there something we can do that would attract the race fans as they drive through to stop and visit? Maybe we can do that. The words "what if" come out. What if we did this? What if we did that? I think I can, my ideas and thoughts and effort to work, again, see what we can do.
Jobs, that's foremost in most people's mind, and that's what they're asking candidates. How can we create more jobs in our community?
I think a lot of that has to do with getting out there and selling Sylacauga to the industry world out there. I know the Chamber of Commerce goes out and tries to find people, and why can't the City Council in whole, as a group, go out there and say, "Hey, come look at our city. Let us show you what we can offer you. We've got the industrial park that's growing. That's great. Well, let's bring those people here so they can tell other people, and it goes back to the what's better, pound of ones or, or 1/100 or 10 ones or whatever. So that didn't come out right. But if you can get promoting and show, hey, this is my city, come see us. Let the kids show off and say, hey, this is where I come from. I think it'd be all good for us and the city, and growth would happen. But you've got to get out there and do something. So
one of the other topics that's talked about and has been talked about for years, it's always talked about during an election year, is a sportsplex, a multiplex facility for youngsters and adults to participate. And that has always been said that it would bring new money, it would bring fresh faces into Sylacauga.
Well, activity generates activity. That's the way I look at it. If you had a group where people could go play softball, we both have gray hair. I noticed you have gray hair.
I'm just glad to have it.
Well, yeah, mine's waving away, but a senior softball league or something like that. Basketball, hockey, well, not hockey, soccer, whatever. Something that would give you an interest to do something, a little competition. We've got baseball, softball. Of course, football is well, what about old people football game? You know, we bring in the ambulance, we can go have a football game.
You know, if people watching this morning say, well, John Hall is from, you know, he's originally from Massachusetts, and he is in the South now, and Sylacauga is his city. How does that help you coming from an area, you know, in the Northeast to a town like Sylacauga, Alabama, the freshness of you looking at it from not being here a long, long time?
It's like, I guess the best way to explain would be, I've seen different places. I've lived in different places. And because I have lived in places other than here, my choice is Sylacauga.
Right.
Why is my choice Sylacauga? So Sylacauga has something absolutely special. And because of that, it's time to work on that, make it, you know, even more special, if you can understand. But, you know, here's an example. Being retired from the city of Worcester, I have to go back to the city hall every once in a while and go fill out some kind of a form. You walk down the sidewalk, and people say I'm getting used to it. I said y'all like a couple times, and you know, fixing to do this, but you go say something to somebody and say, hey, how you doing? Nothing. No acknowledgement whatsoever. My daughter came down here, and I'm driving down the road, and of course I drive a pickup truck, and I'm waving at, you know, people, hey, how you doing? You know, the one finger, and how you know him? No. Well, what are you waving to him for? Because you wave to say hi to people. She walked down Broadway with me one day, and she says, everybody says hi. Well, this is what it's all about. You say hi. You give of yourself to get, you know, and yeah, I've seen different things. I don't want to live in Massachusetts. I want to live in Alabama. I want to live in Sylacauga. And I want to work for the city of Sylacauga and make it as best as it can be. So.
John Hall, candidate for Sylacauga City Council District 4. Talk about some issues you see in District 4 that continue to need attention.
Well, if anybody remembers when they were putting up the traffic light at Coosa Street, I was jumping up and down saying no, screaming and hollering, and I know Ms. Clara Curtis and the petition that came out, and everyone says no, 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 and they put it up anyway. And regrettably, there was an accident that caused people to die, and great people. So I started off with that light at Coosa Street. It needs to be at Park Street, and I will be adamant about that. The light's in the wrong place. I go to Marble City Baptist Church. Coming out Sunday morning, it's horrendous coming out of there, but that's one thing. And then the traffic light, the lack of industry here, the lack of businesses here, the fact that people drive down 280 and they just blast right down 280 and not even know Sylacauga's here. We need to figure out some way to make Sylacauga noticed as the people drive by, either going to the racetrack or going to Birmingham or going anywhere they want. Hey, there's Sylacauga, let's go take a look. And that's what we need to do.
You believe that you can be a difference maker in getting that light at Park and 280?
I would hope so. I truly hope so. I live right there, right behind Hardee's, and you hear the brakes squealing constantly. The fact that you watch people going to the intersection of the turnaround lanes in the median, and there's just nothing but confusion there. I've been told that that's the proper way of doing the marking at Quarry Road. I don't believe so. I believe if there was a light there, it would be better. I just think there could be a different way of looking at it. You know, rather than having the blinders on, look at it from a wider perspective. But it's just difficult to live there.
You mentioned that you're a retired fireman. You are a member of the local 1009 International Association of Firefighters, and I know that civil service men and women are special to you.
They are. There's a brotherhood that goes along with it. Being a firefighter, it's like being a Marine. Once you're a firefighter, you're always a firefighter. Once you're in civil service, you're always in civil service. I was fortunate that I came away. I had one incident one night. The guys got up and from their supper table, went to a warehouse fire, and 6 of them did not come home. Okay, I got hurt, but that's, what happens. You give of yourself to the city. The fact that firefighters, police, rescue squad, ambulance people, they're all giving to the city, and they all should be acknowledged in a way that would be more beneficial for their future. We've got a great fire department, we've got a great police department, a super rescue squad. The ambulance crew is above reproach, and yeah, we've got something really, a good foundation for which to work on.
Why, John Hall, should people go to the polls in Sylacauga on August 28th and elect you City Council District 4 representative?
It's like if you're bragging about yourself, saying, vote for me because I'll give you a chicken in every pot. That's not the way it works. I have the time to work for a city that I love very much. I have desire to make something good even better. I have the desire to listen to people in communication, as you said before. You need to know what's going on. Let the people know that, hey, this is what we're working on, this is what we're trying to do, this is how it's going to go. We need your help, bring some things in. The work sessions at the city council, and maybe I'm going to get myself into trouble. They don't know what's going on at the work sessions. You're looking at, on television, you're looking at the council meetings, and it seems like it's orchestrated. Well, find out how come it got to that point. A little communication, a little acknowledgement, say, this is what we're working on, this is how we're going to do it. Have you got any input? Listen to the people in the area and say, what do we need? I think, listening, talking, listening some more, talking some more. So, yeah, I think I've got an asset that I can make the city or help work with the other councilors so that we can all work together.
You are a military veteran.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I was in the Navy. I had really rough duty. I went to the Bahamas for a year, and and then I came back and went to New London, Connecticut on a submarine rescue, and it got crazy at there. But I stayed in the reserves for a while. I stayed put 15 years in. Then the conflict between the fire department and the military, and I had to get out. So I'm proud to say, I was there and gave something back to my country.
You're a member of the Vietnam Veterans of America, Chapter 945.
Yes, I am. Again, I did not go to Vietnam. I'm a Vietnam era vet, but at the time, I was in the service at the time of Vietnam. And again, you watch these guys that are, we all left home. And a lot of the guys are over there fighting, and I guess I was lucky enough that I stayed home to support. I spent 3 years on sea duty, so it was, I think, yeah, I spent time there. Again, once a veteran, always a veteran. So
how can people learn more about your candidacy, and how can they contact John Hall?
I'm one of two places. I'm either on Pinewood Lane or I'm at Marble City Baptist Church right now, where I'm looking forward to getting out and talking to the neighbors. I'm going around and this is new. This is relatively new for me to say, yeah, I'm going to run for city council. So I'm going to go out and start walking up and down the streets and saying, hi, how you doing? Handing out something just to remind them of what I'm trying to do. But they can find me pretty much walking around.
I think you've got your announcement coming up in the local paper. Is it this Sunday?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay, the Daily Home?
Yeah, we've put an announcement out in the Sylacauga today. The Daily Home is coming. Talking to you, of course, is letting people know that, here I am and this is what I want to do, and I want to work to make the city better.
Well,
like
thank you for joining us this morning, and good luck in the campaign, and we're glad you are a part of Sylacauga, Alabama. You bring freshness to our community, and we thank you for that.
Thank you very much.
More on Daybreak coming up in just a minute.